Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secrets of Saltmarsh, one of our Patreon Greyhawk campaigns. Shout out to everyone on the screen that you can see here and all of the rest of our Patreons. Without their support, all of the things that we do on this channel, 1-shots, 2-shots, 3-shots, marathons, would not be possible. If you're interested in more information on what benefits you can get for being a patron, you can use !Patreon in the chat. We also have a YouTube. You can find all of our episodes of all of our campaigns over there on our YouTube, !YouTube for that as well. If you would like to interact with the game, there are a couple of ways you can do so. You can redeem channel points for free, which you get just by hanging out, lurking, chatting, to grant a blessing, which is a reroll or advantage die to the player of your choice. Or if you'd like to add an element of fate to the narrative, every $10 guarantees a draw from the deck of many things. This is a new deck. We used it in the Frost Maiden session. New deck smell, very nice. Add an element of fate to the narrative to the player of your choice. Let's jump right into it, and then I'll do a recap because it's been a hot minute. So please tell me about who you are, how you're doing, and tell us a little bit about who you're playing. And we will start with one of my best friends, Emma. You're muted.
Hi, it's me, one of Stella's best friends, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. I'm also writing a TTRPG called All the Witches. You can find information about that at allthewitches_ on Twitter. And yeah, thank you so much for asking how I am. I'm rough. Let me tell you all about it. So no, I'm kidding. I'm doing well, thank you. And I play Arlen Rufalath, a cleric warlock who ran away from home to be an adventurer like her parents against their wishes, stealing their stories for her own and pretending to be someone much more experienced than she is. And her lies have consistently worked and gotten her into a powerful position that she maybe shouldn't be in, but here we are.
Excellent. Thank you very much. You can check out Emma's links there in the chat. We'll pop on over to GeekDice.
Hey, folks. I'm GeekDice. It's great to be back after quite some absence. Glad to be back with this amazing crew of role players and play this very fun game. Having a lot of fun with it, and we'll see where we're going to go next. I am playing Kiss Me Bright Bloom, or KayBee. He is a flower knight of the Order of Sea Lily, self-proclaimed. And his origins were in the north of Keoland, many miles to the north, where he lived under other people's porch, and he'd sweep their room and clean things up in their house in the middle of the night. Retired from that. Now he's out seeking adventure. First as an artificer, then as a wizard, and now as a fighter, a self-proclaimed knight and defender of the Sea Lily, our great ship, and of course Arlen and everything that she holds dear. Represent.
Oh, that's so cute. Thank you very, very much. We'll pop on over to GodfatherWraith, but before you give our little spiel, thank you so much, GodfatherWraith, for a warm welcome back. There is a card draw for everyone, and I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Thank you so much. We'll start with Emma. Please tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. GeekDice.
Stop that one.
That one. Ooh, no, this is a good one. You want this one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Godfather will go with you last. All right. That way you get the good one. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. John, please tell me when to stop.
Stop, please.
Okay. Oh. Zombie.
Stop.
Okay. That makes sense, especially with what's going to happen, okay?
Yay!
And last but not least, GodfatherWraith, please tell me when to stop. Okay.
Oh, God.
Can you tell me about who you are, where we can find you, and how you're doing, and who you're playing?
Hey, I'm GodfatherWraith, B_ESG. But you can call me Godfather, Tim, Wraith, or pretty much anything you want, except late for dinner. I'm pretty much have no existence on social media anymore. Haven't for years, before it all burnt down in a house fire.
Yeah.
So, but you can pretty much find me here in Stella's chat in her Discord, or other members of the community that stream every now and again. I play Garen. He is a former scout for the Kratikan Royal Army who decided to retire and become an adventurer. And he's just your average nondescript rogue who's really good at making things dead.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We'll pop on over to John.
Trouble unmuting there for a second. Hi, I'm John, also known as Andicarus on the net. You'll find me on most social media under that name. And I play Paul of Ammonfort, who is a former street waif orphan from the mean streets of Ammonfort. He's managed to just stumble his way towards the fine town of Saltmarsh and run into these great adventurers. He's happy to be with them. And he's having a lot of fun, sometimes too much fun. Sometimes he doesn't make it home. But he has a little pixie that helps him sometimes find the right path. And this time she actually managed to get him inside after one of his drunken bouts. So I assume he'll wake up there.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. And you can find all of John's links there in the chat. And we'll pop on over to Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie MZ. Owners and names to call me. I'm the lore keeper and Captain C of the Good Ship Clip. I probably do too many clips, so it's up to your own discretion. Today I play Finn Carson, who is a ranger researcher, and he's just vibing. He had a bit of a memory loss last episode, a little bit. Lost a sort of important memory of his with him and his beloved Abigail. But we'll see what else sort of happens. I know, and we had a ton of fun last time with some magical, wonderful wizard wine, so that was always fun as well. But you can find me on Twitter at ZombieFighter89. If you go to Twitter, you can also find me on Blue Sky under the same name as well, if that's the website you prefer as well. On Twitter, if you're there and you see the pinned tweet, there is a little business card I have there made by the lovely Lady May. Also under it, and I don't know if I've had it ready since the last time we've played this. I can't remember, but there is an actual Google Doc sheet there all ready for the go to click on. So you can see all the different clips, video edits, promotional videos that I've done for this game and the Frostmaiden game, stuff like that, and past games that have happened also on the lovely Solar Luna channel. So, yay. And then, I remembered, and I have the link this time. Haha. So, if anyone was here watching last Wednesday, I wore the wrong shirt, so I decided to also wear the wrong shirt again, but on purpose. So I'm wearing this awesome wizard shirt here. Dungeon Day makes a lot of these awesome shirts. I believe more is coming out this coming up year. I put the link down there to the Instagram that you can go and you can buy your own. There's a bunch of cool D&D inspired stuff already. I believe right now there's the wizard, there's the rogue, there's like a GM one, I believe, or DM one, whichever the case. All kinds of fun stuff. Go support Dame. Dame's awesome.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So last time on Secrets of Saltmarsh, we returned to Saltmarsh from the Sahagin Fortress. And it was earlier today, that we had a conversation with the council, and we told them a different story about what happened at the Sahagin Fortress. With Pol's illusory magic, we were able to tell a very grand story of how everything went perfectly, and we reported the numbers that we were able to draw of how many soldiers and how many Sahagin were within the lair. And the council received it very well. In fact, you were given a whole ass house, and you were all given citizenship of Saltmarsh if you would like to take it as a reward for your efforts. So now, as you have been going throughout the day, You are hearing whispers of war. You can hear people beginning preparations. It is going to be some time before the actual assault is going to go out. So it is up to the group between then and now to decide which way you want to go. I believe the general consensus of the party was leaning towards not getting involved, which is totally fine. It's completely up to the group here. And you've got some time to think about it. And during the party, you'd have definitely heard people trying to get an idea of, like, how do you feel about this? Which way are you leaning? Do you want to get involved? This is what I've heard. There have been little whispers here and there between the rampant partying and the wizard wine shenanigans. But overall, it was a good party. Some of you left early. Some of you made your way home. We last left off with Garen in a precarious situation, but we're going to put that on hold for right now.
Oh.
Instead, we will follow our dear KayBee.
So I'm walking down the street as we had, I just left Garen behind in the estate of Solmore after we had dropped off the young Andor, drunk and full of merriment, but exhausted from the activities. I left him behind. And as I walked down the street and between the few sparse lanterns that cover the street and head back to our new temporary home, beside me ambles the legs, the mechanical construction, my steel defender draped in Garen's cloak, and the remnant of an illusion around it, giving this construct the passing visage for anybody who doesn't look too closely, that actually Garen walks next to me.
No, I don't know. This might be dangerous.
I reach into my cloak and I pull out my little friend, the little owl.
Hey, friend. Garen's back in that house over there. I don't know if he's going to be safe. I really should have left you on the inside, but here, go up into this tree, and after I leave, why don't you fly around and watch the house? Look in the windows, and you let me know if there's any commotion. I'm going to go back to our new house, but you just watch out for Garen. If you see any problems, come and let me know, and maybe we can help.
And with that, I throw him up to a branch
With
where
a
he can roost.
Fluster of feathers, you see Friend lift up into the branch and begin to look around and begins to take off in the direction that you had come, disappearing into the night. As you're wandering through the streets here, you can see that there are pockets of people, most of them very obviously drunk. No one seems to be paying particular attention to you. Perhaps a person that's walking by, stumbling, points and says, "Oh, KayBee, hey!" And then they continue on without much notice.
Okay. I'm going to continue back to our house to let others know where Garen is at.
Okay. When you get to the house, it will be mostly dark because there aren't any fixtures set up quite yet. You're looking at this rundown home. It has strong bones. It has a sturdy foundation. You can tell with a bit of time and love and consideration, this could be a pretty significant building. You could make something of this. But for now, it's very humble. There are patches of mismatching paint. The garden is absolutely atrocious. It is completely damp with seawater. It has toasted all of the weeds, but also the grass could use some TLC as well. As you're coming up, you might hear some noises from within indicating people are home. And as you enter in the front, you can see the Locatha, the gardener, turn towards you. The main fireplace in the main room has been lit, and they are sitting down in front of it, currently chewing away at a fish. They lift up a hand and then turn away from you with their big bulbous body. They continue eating.
Okay. I'll go in the kitchen and I'll mull around there for a bit and see what kind of shape the kitchen is in. I think that's going to be my home in this home. I'll probably live in a cabinet.
The kitchen has definitely seen better days. You can see that there are soot marks that have charred the various walls from when a fire kicked up a little too hot. You see that there is a very sturdy stone fireplace that's perfect for cooking multiple meals and baking various goods. The cabinets, some of them have doors off of hinges, some of them are missing doors completely, but the bones are there. You could eventually make this into something nice, but right now it's pretty trashy.
Perfect. There's always something that needs fixing.
Excellent. So as KayBee begins to move around in the kitchen, who else is at your home?
Well,
No.
Paul is at home, but he's not conscious. He's passed out face down in his bedroom. I think Tully didn't make it back to his own room and is using Paul's leg as a pillow. He's also passed out there. And they're just lying there snoring loudly.
Everyone in the house can hear the snoring of Pole and Tully from upstairs. Finn is also asleep, I believe.
If purposes need to be, I could still just be up reminiscing or whatever, just thinking. So
Okay, it is pretty late into the night, and all of y'all did enjoy some wine as well. Arlen, where are you?
I think Arlen is on the sea lily in the captain's quarters resting.
Okay, excellent. So, KayBee, you find that there's not much to do in the house. No one else seems to be around. So, as the night sleepily passes on for the group of you.
So I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm going to wait for Garen. I put tea on.
Okay.
And if nobody comes to me, I might just peek around just to see who's there, but I'm not going to disturb anybody.
Very good. No one disturbs you, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And while you wait, Garen, you silently slip into the room and close the door behind you. You are confident that Garen did not see you, but that was really close.
Yeah, he still has invisibility, if I remember correctly, so...
It's dark in here. You see that there is a heavy curtain drawn over where a window should be. You can see the outline of the frame pressing against the thick fabric. And as you put on the goggles that KayBee gave you, you see a shape. You see a person. They are shrouded in a cloak. It is hard to make any details of them, but you can see from the shiny discs of their eyes that they're looking right at you. They stand to be about 5'6" and have an average build. But other than that, they have a cowl pulled up and you only see their eyes, which almost seem gold. They're just looking at you.
Garen would... If they're looking right at him, Garen's not gonna try to continue hiding. He'll stand up. What are you doing here?
As you say that, the person leans forward slightly and says, I don't think either of us are supposed to be here right now. And as they say that, you hear the creaking of wood as Garen closes the door to Anders' bedroom. There's a sigh, the sound of clothing being straightened, patting of dust away from their shoulders, and then the steps of Garen slowly walking away. The other person lifts a finger to their mouth.
Sound like he's going down the stairs or to one of the other bedrooms.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check. 27.
Okay.
Very good. you are able to tell that Garen is going downstairs.
Going downstairs.
Yes, I can hear that. Well, this is interesting. I thought I
Indeed.
was going to be alone up here.
Same.
Roll me an insight check.
Oh, yeah, because Garen's great at those.
A 9.
Ugh.
It's really hard to tell much of anything about this person.
Can I use my one nat 20?
Yeah,
feel like this is
absolutely.
important.
Okay. We do also have a couple of blessings in chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for the blessings. Really appreciate it. Garen does have a reroll if you want to use it.
I think I'll use that instead of the nat 20.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your insight again, please.
Probably might still end up using it, but
A
12.
12. Okay.
Okay.
With a 12, you can tell that this person's curious more than anything else. They don't seem aggressive, and it's really clear that they're not supposed to be here. And they don't have any intention of giving away your position or their position.
Right.
As you kind of look around with your peripheral vision here, you can tell that this is some kind of storeroom. You see that there's a mannequin off to the side that is wearing a suit of armor. You can see that there are various glass cases that line the walls here that are filled with various relics and things. There are crates. There are closets that are closed. Armoires of extravagant quality.
Well, I'm willing to, how should I put this? I'm not looking for any trouble. I'm here for information. So,
Interesting. So am I. I might have heard a thing or two about Garen Wave Chaser.
do not trust that man at all.
I do not. And it is at this moment that there's a loud bang against the window. The person turns to look, pulls the curtain aside, and you see this strange shape of a thing. It looks kind of like a small monkey, but it is unusual in design. You see these hellish looking eyes just staring into the glass, and then it bangs on the glass again.
Is this the stinking homunculus?
It's the homunculus. Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god.
And you
Does
can
Garen recognize this?
I don't know. Did Garen see it?
I don't remember.
You can roll me a history check.
Oh.
Wow, not 20. Nice. 21. Yeah. Even if you didn't see it, just by description alone, you are able to connect the dots. So it's totally up to you here. You instantly recognize this is the homunculus that escaped your ship.
What is this doing here?
You know what this thing is.
It was crawling around in our ship.
But what? And you can hear the sound of footsteps coming up the stairs as the homunculus
need to hide.
bang, bang.
We need to hide. Now.
Is this thing dangerous?
No, I don't think so.
You see them pull back their cloak with a flourish. They pull a small hammer from their side. They smash the lock on the window. And then they begin to push it up. All of this is extremely loud. And you can hear the steps coming quicker and quicker.
I know what you're doing, but we need to get moving now.
I'm not going to hide. I'm leaving. You either... The window gets pushed up and the figure slides out onto the roof.
Garen's gonna follow suit.
Okay. You see that they push this homunculus thing away from them, and the monkey-like creature, the construct, staggers back and looks confused, looks at the two of you. As you're closer up to it, you can see that it has these sharp, jagged teeth, and it looks unnatural. It looks like it has been made out of various parts, and it is a bit of a horror to behold, especially here in the darkness. And with almost no sound, this person begins to move along the rooftop and then jumps down.
Yeah. Would having spoken with this person dispel Garen's invisibility?
Let's see. I don't actually know how invisibility works. I know it's if you take like an action, basically.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
That target attacks or casts a spell.
Okay, so no. As long as you don't attack or cast a spell. So you could like open doors, you could do anything that you like.
Okay. So yeah, Garen hops out onto the windowsill and follows suit.
Okay, is your intention to follow this person? Because they are moving very quickly and very nimble.
I mean, with a 13 stealth check, so could Garen. But can Garen get to the back wall from here or no?
Yes, you can climb out onto the roof if you want.
Yes, Garen's gonna do that. He's gonna try to get over the back wall and get back home.
Okay, excellent. So you begin to go separate ways from this person. You see that in the moonlight, you can see the colors of what they're wearing. They are wearing a deep navy cloak. And you can see that it wasn't a trick of the light. Their eyes are actually gold. And they disappear into the garden and into the night.
All right. And Garen's gonna follow suit, or not follow them, but head onto the roof, onto the wall, and head home.
Okay, yeah, you are able to do so effortlessly. As you make your way into the street, away from the Solmore house, you see a dark shape in the sky above you, and you're able to tell it's some kind of bird. And it begins to slowly come down, and as it's getting closer, you can tell it's friend.
By the way, the reason I said back wall, I remember we can see the back of the Solmore mansion from our house. So he's not touching the street.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, friend. That means KayBee's keeping an eye out for me. Good to see you. And then he continues. And once he's within the yard, once he's in the house, he'll let the invisibility drop.
Okay. KayBee, you hear the front door open. You hear friend swoop in and sit right on the mantle of the fireplace.
You're back already.
I bring out a couple teacups, not knowing if Garen wants tea, but prepare him a cup of tea.
Garen will sit down.
On the floor.
Yeah, there's no furniture.
I'm glad you're safe. What'd you find over there?
Sadly, not much. All I've got is I know there is someone else who trusts Garen as much as I do. And then do you remember that purple monkey thing that used to be on the ship?
Yeah, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, it tried to break the window in. So we kind of had to hightail it before I could find anything.
That's strange.
Yeah.
And I don't honestly remember that too greatly. Did we
I vaguely
characterize
remember
it? Did we know what it was when we saw it? Being a wizard, conceptually, do I
you-
know what that was?
You know it's a homunculus, so you know that it was created by a wizard or someone else of the arcane studies.
Or a warlock?
Or a warlock, yes.
Yes.
It's probably safe to assume that because it was on the ship, that either it came from somewhere else or it belonged to someone who used to be a former person on this ship.
See, that's strange that I'd be going to that house. That makes you wonder,
Yeah.
was it a spy? Was it spying on us? I don't know.
I don't know.
Who did you meet? Tell me all about them.
I wasn't able to get their name. I mean, when you're sneaking into somebody's house, you don't always have time to exchange pleasantries. But I know they're average height, average build. They have gold eyes.
Wait, was it a boy or a girl? What they smell like?
Sure.
The
I
room
don't know.
smelled dusty. That's pretty much all you could really tell.
I don't know. My smelling's not that good. All I smelled was dust. And, do I remember what their voice sounded like?
Their voice, it would have been a little husky, but hard to place. Definitely not a local. Definitely not someone from or living in Saltmarsh. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
All right.
23.
23.
Okay. You are able to tell that this voice, it is somewhat androgynous. It had tonations of someone who's from a big city.
They sound like they're from a city. Can't place which city. And I really cannot tell gender. Can't tell race, nothing.
Well,
They're
I don't
more
know if.
nondescript.
Hopefully,
ahead.
we can figure out what's going on with that Garen guy.
I agree. I'm more than a little intrigued. I've never met someone that's as or more perceptive than me and more nondescript than me.
I show Garen the little corner page that I found in the fireplace, mostly burnt, and a few letters written on it. There was a capital S and a small C. There's the corner of a page.
I don't know what this is, but this was they burnt it in a fireplace in Andor's house.
And I look at the page closely in the lantern light to see if I can discern, being a bit of a scribe, if I see anything that stands out to me with the type of paper or the type of ink or the handwriting, what little is there, maybe there's something that could be a clue. So I investigate the heck out of it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation, please.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Be assisting.
Okay.
Awesome.
To add advantage.
Awesome.
Okay, 25. Very nice. You were definitely able to discern that the paper is of a thicker quality. It is a heavier pound of paper. From maybe a merchant or a noble, not so much like royal paper or anything like that, but
good quality
good
paper.
quality.
Yep. Not
Somebody
common
spent
stock.
Yeah, somebody spent a pretty silver on that paper.
Yeah, so turn it over, give it a sniff, look at it closely, bring out a magnifying glass.
It doesn't really tell you very much. It smells like the fireplace.
SC. I don't know what starts with SC.
Well, my first thought is Garen, but I believe his name is SK.
Yeah, I know, right?
I will say, even with the 25, the two of you together don't have enough information to gather much more out of it. And you might puzzle for however long you do, but the night grows long and you aren't able to get much more.
We'll talk to Arlen. She'll figure it out. Okay, good night. And I disappear into a cabinet. And I have to hold the cabinet door closed because it's on one hinge. And I peek out occasionally, see if Garen's left it. I close it again.
Garen actually sits there absent-mindedly, playing with his own nose as he's thinking pensively. And then he realizes KayBee's gone and gets up and heads up to the attic and goes to bed himself.
Excellent. With that, the night passes on. You can hear nearby dock workers beginning to go about their various activities, the ding-dings of bells and the rolling of carts. It's a new day.
Woohoo! I heal lightning damage.
Yeah, so you get the effects of full. All right, that's so funny. I forgot about that.
Right?
One of
Yeah.
the one of the wizard wine procs was just lightning bolts started coming out of the sky.
Oh my gosh. Wait, where were you staying? Is the roof of our house damaged again?
It was
It was in the
outside.
street.
Oh,
Outside
yeah.
yeah.
Scared the shit out of a lot of people. People were like,
Right.
no wine for me. It's good.
And it was also a good thing we were having the party outside of the snapping line at that moment.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, 100%. So, Arlen, you hear a knock at your door on the Sea Lily.
Hello.
Hello. It is your quartermaster. Are you decent, Captain?
Yes.
The door opens, and Agni, this red-haired, blue-eyed dwarf with a very stern disposition, steps in and is holding their book. They close it, and they fold their hands to the small of their back. We have gone over repairs of the ship, and she is in good condition. I've spoken with the boatswain, Simona, and we are good to set sail if you wish to leave. Otherwise, if you would like us to commission work, we could set up contracts with the local fisher folk and do bouts of fishing.
All right. I don't believe that we were planning on leaving today, so let's go ahead and plan out picking up some contracts and commissions, and maybe for the next 3 days, and see how things are settling after that.
Very good. I will speak to you for final decisions before committing to anything, but I will draw up those contracts for you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And they gently close the door behind themselves.
As they do, Arlen looks over to like a table and sees an important looking letter that she didn't read last night because she was tired. She stands up and heads over to that to see what it says.
Okay. You pick up this envelope and it is heavy. You can tell that it is of a dense cardstock, and just feeling it, it almost feels like cloth. The fibers are so fine. You see the seal of the king, King Scotty, emblazoned right on the envelope flap there. You peel off the wax seal and you pull it open, and with it comes a letter. It is a letter from the king that says that King Kimbertos Scotty requests the heroes of Saltmarsh to report to Seaton, to report to Duke Merrick Feldrin for more details.
So Seaton, I'm imagining, is another town.
Yeah, go ahead and roll
Perhaps
me a
by
history
the
check.
sea.
Yes. Probably.
23.
23. Okay. You haven't been to Seaton before, but you know of it. You are able to recognize that it is not that far away from Saltmarsh. The most significant thing about it is that it is twice as large as Saltmarsh, and it was turned into an important military port. So it used to be a town, but it is no longer. It is absolutely a military fortification now. And
So similarly, what's kind of going on in Saltmarsh right now?
yes. The biggest difference is that Saltmarsh is being turned into a mining operation, essentially. The king is interested in pulling everything that they can out of the mines because they've proven fruitful. And that has upset the locals because the king's interfering with the local culture and lifestyle of the people here. Seaton, it's completely transformed. It's been transformed for several years now. It
Okay.
is, and you with a 23, you would know that it has a reputation of being particularly drab, so it's not very colorful or characteristic. It is heavily fortified, and let's give you a spicy little tidbit. You know that the Duke, Merrick, who runs Seaton, only got the position out of a technicality. King Scotty actually granted his older brother, Obertus Feldrin, governorship of the province because Obertus was a hero, a war hero. So I imagine with Arlen and their stories, like, she would know of Obertus Feldrin just being a war hero.
Okay. So Obertus was granted like charge of the entire area, and he appointed Merrick to the dukedom.
You heard that Obertus died
Oh, okay.
a year after he was given Seaton.
Well, that's not suspicious at all. How far away is Seaton?
That's a good question. Let's go to the map. Woo! Map reveal. Seaton is down here. So it is east of Saltmarsh.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's measure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So
About
that
halfway between the Dwarven Mine is about halfway between Saltmarsh and Seaton, right?
yeah. So it's about 30 leagues, which is about 100 miles.
Now,
It's a lot of miles.
KayBee had come out of Grodzul, which is even further to the east. It's a huge port city in Qland. So is it fair that KayBee could have come through Seaton if he...
Yeah. You would know that Seaton is not particularly like a great place to stop, but it is a good place to restock. It's not very hospitable. It is meant to be a military fortress. There might be like a crusty inn outside of Seaton. That's where you would have stayed. I don't think you would have stayed in Seaton proper.
The Krusty Krab Inn.
Yeah. No, the Krusty Lobster. Legally distinct.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Arlen just kind of like hits the letter in her hand. All right, maybe we shouldn't do some commissioning of the ship. But how long would it take to walk there? Like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days,
How
7
long
days,
would
8
it
days? Stop
take
me when? 9
to
days,
walk
10 days,
100 miles.
11 days, 12 days,
Almost.
13 days.
33 hours. So
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, 27 days.
Okay. All right.
so it'd be like a
Arlen-
day and a half.
Yeah, Arlen will head off the ship and head towards the house with the intention of catching up with everybody.
Okay. We'll say that it is about 8 a.m. as Arlen comes up to the house. Who's awake?
KayBee has breakfast going. He probably had to pop down to market and spend some money because there's food on the ship, but he'll leave that there. So he's starting to get the kitchen in order a little bit. He had a screwdriver out. He tightened a few cabinet pieces, and he's got the kitchen in full operation, cooking food for all the residents and anybody who shows up.
We're going to turn this into a fun little thing. Okay.
Oh, dear.
We're going to give the kitchen 100 hit points. I need you to roll me whatever you want, one roll, and we will over time heal the kitchen.
Alrighty. I think I've got a blessing. I don't know if I have any nat 20s, but we'll go with carpentry skill since I think that was the thing. And I'll use the blessing to give me advantage.
Okay, sounds good.
If my keyboard will obey me. There we go.
Okay, 17. I'm going to go ahead and give you 25 HP. So the kitchen looks a lot better after one night. You have polished the floors quite a bit. You've fixed some of the most obvious cabinet discrepancies, but it still needs a lot of work.
Hey, you over there. Grab a plate. I didn't see you eat yet. Take your pick, anything you want here. They got veggies. They got breads. I don't know. You like fish? This one's goat over here. This is goat soup is really good. It's a little bit spicy. It's got that blue pepper in there.
If you're speaking to the Locatha, they
Just anybody, everybody. It's like,
okay,
hey,
yeah.
If I don't see a plate in their hand,
the smell of breakfast permeates the house, and it's likely to rouse whoever wants to rouse. The Locatha helps themselves, and Tully is absolutely there already.
It's good.
I'm gonna walk through the door. Oh, smells good.
You gotta eat something, Captain. Gotta keep up your fighting form.
All right, thank you very much. And she kind of goes through and gets the veggies and everything and the fish, but definitely not the goat soup.
And I press into her palm the corner of that page, and I in a low tone I say to her,
You should check in with Garen. He's got things to tell you.
She just kind of nods, and then we'll go and sit down and eat.
Okay.
I think Garen probably is getting back from walking Barnacus at this point. Not sure where he's gonna fit Barnacus in the house.
We'll pull up the house. You all hear like this rampant scratching at the door as Garen and Barnacus, the baby owlbear, approach.
He does have the harness by now, if I remember right.
Yeah, you do. So you have a couple of different places where you could start to make a little home for your owlbear. But as soon as you enter in, Barnacus just pulls at you, trying to get towards the food.
Garen is probably being dragged across the floor as he's trying to get control of him. And then just whoa, okay. I'll get you food. Let's go this way and I'll get you food, buddy. Yes. And
we'll eat literally whatever you hand them.
Right, but he'll probably grab some of the goat stew and give him a bowl of that.
Tully kind of like, whoa, what? Watch it. And kind of steps out of the way. You can see that Tully has 2 plates of food, and he begins to make his way up the stairs. He goes.
Just want you to share.
There's plenty to go around. I'm not gonna share this. This is for Paul. Somebody's gotta feed him.
Yeah, he is kind of like that, isn't he?
You hear the scurrying like a cat going up the stairs, like. Tully just clambers all the way up, kicks the door open. Paul, wake up! I have breakfast.
Ugh.
Just like,
So I think Paul didn't make it home with his clothes last night either, if I recall correctly. So he's lying there on the floor. He's got Tully's drool all over his thigh from when he was sleeping on him.
yeah. Tully
And he
seems
looks just bleary-eyed.
Tully's completely unbothered, just puts the plates on the ground, sits down, grabs a fistful of veggies, and then tries to put them in your mouth.
Paul's like, mm-mm,
Eat it.
mm-mm,
Eat it.
mm-mm. No,
Ah,
I'm
okay.
sick.
No, don't be sick. You see, whatever you've kind of knocked away that's fallen onto the floor, Tully just picks it up and starts eating it. And Tully never closes his mouth when he eats. You always hear a lot of lip smacking and just juicy food noises whenever Tully's eating. And he'll just sit with you. Everyone's downstairs, I think. Even the owlbear.
So Paul will eventually get to his feet. His head is swimming, and he's gonna reach into his haversack and get some more clothes to put on.
I just like to imagine that Paul just always has backup clothes because this has
He
become
does.
a thing now. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're getting dressed, Tully continues to talk about all the gossip that he heard of the party. A lot of what he's saying doesn't make any sense. He's talking about like affairs that people are having in the town. He's talking about how this merchant just backstabbed another one, not literally, but like there's a whole thing about crawfish that's going on. And he's just
Crawfish?
talking
Wait.
and talking and talking.
Well, oh no. What happened to our friend the lobster?
Oh.
He didn't make it back here.
Oh, you see, he grabs a whole fish that's on the plate. He stands up. He salutes at you with the fish and says, "I will go find them." And all of you just hear this flurry of tack, 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 as Tully just runs down the stairs and then runs out of the house, chewing on this fish.
Paul's gonna run after him too, because yeah, this is the most important thing now. It's like super scared that somebody ate his friend during the night.
Okay.
I imagine Paul is like getting his clothes on as he's running out.
Mhm.
Finn,
He doesn't bother with shoes, he just runs.
Finn, what are you doing?
I imagine Finn is kind of getting ready for the day, and his head a little bit blurry, feeling like something was on his mind and he just can't quite think of it. And he just kind of shakes his head and he's like, maybe I'm just waking up, whatever. And he goes to walk down the stairs, and I think in fashion, right by the door. He's not quite at the door, right by the door, swings open, and Tully is just running down the stairs. Paul's running right past him, me too as well. And I'm just like, oh, another fun morning it looks like it's gonna be. And then he just kind of watches them run out the door. And as they run out the door, I'm just gonna walk over to where I smell the food.
Excellent. So the group minus Pole and Tully have congregated together in the kitchen here without any furniture.
Right.
Including Barnacus.
Yes.
Hmm. Well, and I guess he'll sit where everyone else is sitting, and he'll grab Finn will grab some stew, and in between eating and chewing, he'll ask, so what is the plan today? What's on tap?
Well, we have some business to discuss. We've received a letter from the king, and Arlen just kind of holds it up in her hand. We've been invited to go to Seaton and meet with the Duke.
Do we know how long that is? Off top of our heads.
It's about a day and a half journey away by foot.
Maybe half half day by boat.
Oh, right. Yeah, it could be. Way shorter with the boat.
It would take you about 6 hours if you went by boat. I did all the math ahead of time.
Thank you. It'd be about
No.
6 hours by boat.
Well, then, I think that if we're going to do this, I think by boat would be the best to get there in plenty of time.
Right.
True.
There is also the question that we need to answer to the council if we plan to assist them in the war.
Oh, that, yes.
I dodged a couple of questions at the party. I'd like us to
So did I.
come to a consensus.
I believe our consensus was no, thank you. And she kind of looks around at everybody.
Oh, I agree.
I wanted to go with no as well, but
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Captain.
I kill on
Alright.
my terms, not some general or king anymore.
Well, if the council's meeting today, we could go and let them know briefly. Or if they're not, we can leave them a nice letter.
I agree.
But do we want to go to Seaton today or tomorrow? Is there any other business people need to take care of?
Other than probably breaking this this place in to be a little bit more hospitable, I really can't think of anything of note here other than letting the council know, I guess. So those two things.
I agree.
But-
All right.
You would know that there are crafters in town if you wanted to commission things to be built, especially since the mining guild moved in, carpenters are all abound.
We could commission some carpenters to build a bunch of furniture.
Yeah,
I
we,
like that
we
idea.
could do that, or I could make stuff. It doesn't take me long. I'm really quick with that.
That's a
Well,
lot
we
of
don't-
furniture for you to make, though.
We don't want to put a whole house on UKB.
Yes. I mean, you are fantastic at whatever you do.
Well, what
but-
time is
I won't-
lunch?
I won't. I don't think any of us would stop you from doing what you want to do, but not a whole house. I think all of us would tell you no to a whole house.
Yes. I definitely would not put all of that on you.
It's just money, anyways. You can't take it with you.
What if
There's that.
what if you were the project manager of the furniture building for the house? So you get to dream up the project and tell the others what needs to be made, but you're not necessarily having to keep yourself busy the entire time making the actual furniture.
Now, when I was in grad school, the port city, they made me into the captain of like the night shift at the Dwarves Mining Guild there, and it's like, no, I don't like being in charge.
Okay, we don't have to do that then.
Well,
But we can commission
yes.
some pieces.
I say best of both worlds. KayBee, you pick a couple things you really want to work on, you feel you're passionate about, you're like, I want to do this for the house, and the rest of it we just pass out to whoever we can commission.
I like that. Maybe like the captain wants like a really big bed or something. You know, that could be cool.
I do want that, yes. Thank you.
There you go. See, brilliant.
And I would also like something in the yard for Barnacus to run around in.
Yeah, I like that.
He-
That's good.
He's about to rip my arm out of its socket.
He's
trying to run
just
over.
misunderstood.
Yeah, he's young. He's got a lot of energy.
He's a
He
wild
needs a chance
baby.
to run.
It's the wild baby.
He's like actively eating one of the walls right now. Just like just tearing off wood and chewing on it.
Oh no.
All right, well,
Hmm.
if that's all, we can go see when the council is meeting or if they're meeting, and then we can go to the carpenters and then we can leave.
Excellent. So, as we zoom out on the map just a little bit here, you would know now from just the time that you've spent in Saltmarsh that a bit further out from the main thoroughfare, over by number 23 over here, is the Carpenter Guild Hall. So you'd have to head in the opposite direction of the town hall. Actually, you're right next to the town hall. Number 14 over here is the town hall.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of, do you want to divide and conquer? Do you want to just go one way and then the other? What's the plan?
I think before we leave, Finn would want to talk to the lizard folk, but Finn will be good with whatever, what direction we go.
Okay, the lizard folk are not here right now.
Oh, I thought they'd gotten up and had food with everyone in the...
The Lokatha
Lokatha.
did.
Oh, Lokatha, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
The Lokatha, you can see as soon as they finished eating, they are back to doing garden things.
Okay. Well, Finn, at some point, Finn would, I guess, try to wrangle them down and see how they are, more or less.
Okay.
And Garen, how about you join me to the council, and everyone else, you go to the carpenters, just so that we don't waste any time.
Aye, Captain.
Okay. So, KayBee and Finn begin to head towards the Carpenters Guild Hall. As you're leaving, Finn, you definitely don't see the lizard folk around. You'll probably have to go deeper into town at some point, but
Well, I thought they stayed the night. That's why I was curious.
no,
but...
they left. Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
So as you're heading towards the Carpenters Guild Hall, you see that the road out in this direction is quite busy. You are also passing by the Mariners Guild Hall, number 21 there. And then also the, a weird looking house. Don't worry about it. But you begin to make your way towards the Carpenters Guild Hall, and you can see that it is quite busy. There are a number of fish barrels stocked up onto wagons. You can see that there's lumber in various piles. There are building materials as well. And you can see that the various workers all seem to come and go, speaking to a specific individual who is a bit on the short side. You can see that they are thin and a gnome. They have this leather apron tied around their waist. They have a cap, and they have various nails sticking into the cap. And there's a heavy tool belt that hangs from their hips. And they're pointing and telling people what to do as you're approaching.
I guess Finn would just approach I guess wherever the up front would be.
Okay. So this is outside of the guild hall. She is directing people. You can head inside if you like. But it's pretty obvious that this is someone who's in charge here.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll go up to them as well. Or I'll go up to...
Okay. As you come up to her, she turns to look at you, looks you up and down, and she has her chin tilted up so that she's trying to look down her nose at you, but you're much taller than her. There is a bit of a snobby air to her. She says, "You don't look like you're here to work. What do you want?"
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm here to see if we can commission some work, actually.
Maybe. She flips her hair and she looks over at KayBee. "I don't do work for just anybody. There's a lot to do. The backlog is as long as my arm."
Well,
Question.
Yes.
So looking at her, obviously she's a woman in charge. That's very apparent. But looking at her attire, does she seem to be a skilled tradesperson themselves? Does she have wear tools on her? Can I tell that she's got sawdust in her hair, or that she's got the tough, weathered hands of a person who works with tools?
You can roll perception or insight.
Dice rolls. Yay. And I suck at both of those. But we'll try anyways. Bam.
Well, this is
Very
not
cool.
20. Wow. 21. Okay. Yes to all of those things. You can tell that this is someone who is a master of their craft. She has sawdust underneath her nails. It's caked into her skin. It's probably lived there for years. She probably lives and breathes carpentry.
Yes, ma'am. I can appreciate it looks like everybody's real busy here. I can tell that you know this line of work really well.
And I start talking about what I see around this yard here. I see that she's got a certain type of lumber there, and that's a special cut. And I see that she's moving a lot of that product over there, and people are building furniture. I really like that table and those chairs. If I was going to get that table, I'd get a bigger one. And I try to use the vernacular and the lingo of her trade to impress upon her that I know what I'm talking about. And I'll even throw in little tidbits of like the history of the region and the wood. Oh, that's a rare wood. I haven't seen that wood since 1942. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. You can roll me performance or persuasion.
Do I have any nat 20s?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's go with the performance.
Okay. 23. Very
Damn.
nice. You can see that there is a twinkle in her eye as she's speaking with you. Finn, as you are not directly talking to her as KayBee is doing this, you can see that her stiffness, her rigid disposition, it begins to kind of melt away. And slowly she's beginning to engage in conversation with KayBee, countering with comments like, yeah, that one.
So I pointed these things with my wood awl, the drill that I use for drilling holes in wood. I pointed these things as I'm trying to like win her over to the point where, she's maybe we're a little more likable. She actually wants to engage us. I say,
Now, we really need to equip a new house, and I need to get some stock lumber, but you got some things that are prefab that we could really use right away. Willing to give you a good price.
Okay. Well, listen. I'm willing to work for you, work with you, but look, there's a little bit of something that I need you to do for me first. You go get me something, and I will do whatever you like on your little house. Was that sound okay?
I looked to Finn with wide eyes.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, we can probably do that. How can we help?
She sticks her hand out and she sends it out towards both of you to shake your hands. My name is Gillar Kankleston.
Ah, yes.
At your service. I'm in the business of finding rare woods. And as such, I will personally see to any commissions that you want done on your house if you are able to get me a wooden stake that was used to impale a vampire.
Finn, what do you think about vampires?
Well, I don't know a lot about them, off the top of my head, but, probably wouldn't be the best. It'd probably be best to make sure we've got something to keep around in case, we got a wizard running around and all kinds of other stuff. Maybe it'd be best to have more of these stakes around because you never know who will show up.
I turn back to Gillar.
Any idea where you might recommend we look?
I don't know. If I knew, then I'd have one. But
Yeah, okay.
if that's too hard for you...
No, we'll figure it out. Nothing else, if we can't find that, then maybe we can come up with some other deal, or we'll figure out our furniture. But I like the idea of it. I'll talk to my friends and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. I'll be waiting.
Meanwhile, we may ask about some of the prices. We get an idea if we end up
Mhm.
making our own furniture. That
She
way.
breaks out a catalog,
things
and you begin to have the
smooth.
mundane conversation of various
I got the
carpentry.
100-page catalog. I'll
Yeah,
take
yeah,
that
yeah.
with me. There.
Okay. Yeah, so you have begun the conversation of potentially doing work, but she is not going to start doing anything until you manage to procure this somehow. So meanwhile, this is happening. Garen and Arlen, you make your way over to the town hall. You can see that a open forum is in session. The front doors are open. People are coming in. And essentially, it's one of those things where people are lining up to share their grievances, their concerns with the council members. You can see that all of the council members are there, including Hannah. Anders looks completely fucked up and having a hard time trying to stay awake. Gelen, Prime Water, who was just tearing it up, dancing at the party, seems extremely perky and has like hair of the dog wine in their hand, sipping at it as they're listening to the citizens of Saltmarsh. Ida Oland didn't really drink very much, if any at all, and is just listening intently. So you see there's about 8 people in line right now.
All right, so before we get in line, I'm gonna try to let some of these people get through, hopefully, but KayBee was saying there was something that I should talk to you about, or information that you had gathered that I might like to be aware of.
Yeah. Yeah, now's not a good place to talk about that.
Okay, but it's not urgent considering you are comfortable leaving town.
No, not urgent.
Okay, then we will talk about it later. I'll get in line.
Okay. It is kind of grueling waiting in line here. The first person is like, I had a goat. I went to bed. I don't have a goat anymore. Someone took my goat. And I went around the various neighborhoods and no one's seen my goat. And it kind of just is a bunch of mundane stuff. Another person just talks about like, here are all the taxes that I paid for my shop. I can tell you right here that I'm good with my numbers. I paid everything on time, and I still got a fee, and it's essentially just drabble. It's all common day things that are very important to the people who are sharing them, and the council seems to take most of it very, very seriously. You can see there are a few times where the goat person just keeps going, and Ida Olin begins to pinch her nose and says, we will put out an investigation. We will get one of the city guard to investigate and look throughout the town for you. And the person just doesn't seem to let go and doesn't seem to say that this is acceptable, blah, blah, blah. It's going to take, if you are going to stay the whole time, you can tell this is going to take a few hours, even with 8 people in front of you.
Garen's already struggling to remain patient.
All right, we're gonna screw it. We're writing them a letter.
Great.
I go find some paper and parchment and write a letter basically saying, we know that you had asked if we would help in the war efforts. Unfortunately, we have received an urgent letter from the king calling us to Seaton for an indeterminate amount of time. Otherwise, we would absolutely love to help you, but unfortunately, we will be unable to help in the upcoming war. However, we will plead with the king to send you additional forces, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not, we don't want to help.
Mhm.
We're being called away.
Very diplomatic of you.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Trying to see what role I want you to do here. You can roll me, let's see. You can roll me a performance, persuasion, deception. One
I was
of
going to
those.
say that is kind of an ego thing, right? It's kind of a charisma thing.
I'll do persuasion.
Okay. All right.
Now, I believe I had a nat 20 previously that I never
Yes.
used.
Yes.
Could I use that?
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, great.
Turning your 16 into a nat 20, you write an illustrious letter. It is moving. The secretary who's given you the paper and the quill, as they're kind of like looking over, they begin to like wipe their tears from their eyes, and they're like, "Oh, everything that you've done for Saltmarsh. I just want you to know personally that I'm so thankful for all of your efforts. People talk about you, and they have nothing but nice things to say, and you have made Saltmarsh a much better place, and thank you so much."
Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. Thank you.
Thank
Garen
you.
grunts.
And as you finish writing the letter, they hold it against their chest. I will personally deliver this to the council as soon as they have a moment. I will
Of
make
course.
sure.
Please take your time. We really appreciate you and your hard work.
Please be careful on the way to Seaton. I know that they can be kind of rough out there, military folk. And the secretary just looks at
course.
Garen, even though you're not wearing, like,
He looks at
You just
you
look
you've
at-
got the vibes.
Yeah.
Garen grunts again.
No offense.
Of course. And please, this is for you and your family. And I'm just gonna tip her 10 gold.
You know that's like life-changing shit, right? That's like dropping like
Right.
several grand in front of somebody. They're like, oh, please trust me. This could go into so much better places. My family, we're fine and we're happy and we're just so
Well,
thankful.
then you are welcome to donate it elsewhere. But please. And I just push it towards her again.
It would be an honor to distribute this for you. They take it and they also hold it against their chest. And they like stand up as the two of you are getting ready to leave and they watch you go.
And I leave.
Okay. As you're about to leave, Pole, I need a Constitution saving throw, a Dex saving throw, and a Strength saving throw from you, please.
Who did you piss off?
Okay.
Right?
That is a nat 1 into a 5 on the Constitution save, an 18 on the Dex save and the Strength save. Fantastic. So Pole.
Sweating out that poison.
Pole, you had the most interesting hour and a half. As you and Tully have been just running out into the streets, you are looking around trying to find any sign of this lobster. You begin to ask people. Some people are helpful. Some people are like, why are you, what? A talking lobster? Are you still drunk from last night? And most of it's been unhelpful, but the two of you kind of brainstorm. Where was the last place that you saw the lobster? You check the ship. You check the snapping line. You check your favorite alleyways here. You check the beach. And it has been extremely draining. You'll take 1 level of exhaustion here as you have just nonstop started running around. There was a point where Tully started to get extremely violent in trying to shake answers out of a particular merchant. He jumped up on the stall, grabbed the man by the collar, and started shaking him, saying, "Where is the lobster? Tell me where the lobster is!" And how would you have dealt with that?
Tully, you can't hurt the man. Don't hurt the man. If he don't know, he don't know.
And you just see
But where is
Tully's
he?
like frothing at the mouth, trying to shake him. At a certain point, you can tell it's just going to escalate terribly. You manage to pull Tully off physically, and you begin to check out different areas. At one point, Tully gets hungry and tries to steal a peach from a nearby vendor, and the two of you end up having to run away from a very angry vendor. And you bump into Arlen and Garen as they're coming out, and you don't know where the lobster is. You have drawn the Donjon card. Unfortunately, Paul, your dear talking lobster, though I can guarantee you out of character that they're not going to be eaten and they're going to be fine. They are... Where's the Donjon words? Something happens to someone you know. They become trapped. You just don't know where the lobster is.
No. I know what. I'm gonna look in those boxes, crab traps and lobster traps that people put all along the shoreline. So we're going for a swim, Tully. We're going for a swim. I know where it must be.
Are you two
And
doing
then I
all
probably
right?
told him. Yeah, Paul's like heaving, and he can barely walk, but he's still frantically looking around.
Well,
We lost Shern. We don't know where we left him, and I know people were thinking of eating him.
I remember.
Oh.
I remember seeing him at the party. Hannah.
Yeah, he was dancing.
watching.
Remember? Then after that, I
Yeah.
don't know what.
I'm gonna cast locate
Okay.
object.
Does locate object work on animals?
It doesn't say it doesn't work on animals.
Hold on, let's look at the text. Okay. You describe or name an object that is familiar to you.
His bow tie is an object.
That's true.
You did dress up. I remember that y'all did dress up Shern. Okay.
Could locate his cute little outfit.
You cast. What does it look like when Arlen casts locate object?
I think her eyes just like glow gold to match her skin, which is also gold, and I just remembered that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just kind of looking around, seeing if anything starts like highlighting in the area.
Okay. You begin to look around, and you get a magnetic pull in the direction of... Just tell you where exactly it is. A direction. Okay. It is not moving, and it's in the direction of west, which is down on the map.
All right, follow me.
Okay.
And I'll start going that direction.
Very good. The group of you begin to make your way past the Shark Fin Bridge and away from Saltmarsh proper. Arlen, you end up leading them to the Wicker Goat. And it's there that you step into the inn, and you can see Jeff is holding Shern against his chest, and he's day drinking, talking to the lobster.
Right, didn't we ask Jeff to watch over Sharon? I thought.
I don't
I thought we
remember,
asked
but that's
somebody.
what Jeff's doing right now.
Yeah.
So you see,
Jeff!
that's how I lost my second wife. Oh, hey!
Oh no!
Oh no. It's my friends! Shern, have you met my friends? And he holds up the lobster. The lobster just kind of looks pitifully towards you, like, save me.
Shern, we was looking for you. We lost track of you last night with the dance, you know. You wanna come with us?
Shern just kind of like nods his little lobster head, and Jeff reluctantly passes over Shern. Don't worry, my friends. I was very careful to make sure that no harm came down to our little buddy here.
Oh, thanks.
We had a bit of a
Thanks a
bonding
lot, Jeff.
session. I think we're best friends now.
No, we could rely on you, Jeff.
Mm.
Bartender, Jeff drinks for free for the rest of the week. I'll throw down enough coin to make that happen.
This person, the bartender takes the coin and says, I'll put it on Jeff's tab because Jeff just helps himself. Yeah, as this is happening, Jeff's definitely reaching over and pouring himself another drink. So you can add Shern to your inventory, safe and sound.
Yay.
Woohoo!
All right, let's go meet with the others.
And by the way, Stella, as we are walking around, Garen is trying to keep an eye out for a navy cloak.
Ooh, okay. Roll me perception. 29. Okay. You do see a couple of navy cloaks here and there, but you don't see anyone that could particularly be a perfect match. You realize that the navy cloak is being worn by quite a few of the Kingsmen.
Ooh.
So there are military folk over by actually at the Wicker Goat currently having some breakfast. And they're wearing similar cloaks, but there's no way to like put two and two together because it was quite dark.
It was too dark. Ooh. Ooh.
But as you're paying attention now to navy cloaks, you're beginning to see a little bit of a pattern.
Uh-huh. Garen's brain is spinning, and as we're leaving the Wicker Goat, y'all might hear him kind of grumble under his breath. Never met somebody as nondescript as me.
Yep. The group of you reconvene back at home. KayBee.
Well, we can do furniture, but it's gonna. I don't know. They got to do us a. We got to do them a quest before they'll put us priority at the front of the list to make furniture. They want us to go find a stake that was used to. Was it driven through the vampire's heart, Finn? I think that's what she said.
Yeah, I think it was either driven or can be driven, but I think it was driven.
Yeah. So it needs to be bloody.
Ireland, do you remember seeing a vampire on that undead island?
No. But we could ask the temple, or we could ask Ella. Ella was her name?
Yes.
Ella.
The
cult
warlock
girl about curses and things.
Mm-hmm.
Would she'd still be on the boat? Do we want to invite her to move into the house, or let her stay on the boat?
As
Are you
Garen
two
says
already
this,
at that stage?
as Garen says this, you all remember very vividly how Garen and Ella were dancing at the party.
Oh God! Damn it!
Are you two that close already?
It was
Well,
mega
but-
awkward.
Mm-hmm.
I just figured the house would have more room for her books.
Yep.
There
That's
is
exactly
room,
what you
yeah.
were thinking. Yep.
I mean, there's a whole extra bedroom up in the attic.
Yes.
We would never know what happens up there.
The amount
Yeah.
of ways that can be taken.
Yeah, Garen is not making contact as all of you are deliberately embarrassing the shit out of him.
Tully is like eating half of a peach and says, I know everything that happens in this house. Ow.
So I've been talking to people and getting their feedback on the furniture I'm planning. Bed for everybody and extra lumber to make some for the captain. And Garen's like looking away.
It's like, and Garen, for your own, you want bunk beds?
Garen's face is probably beet red right now.
The only question I'd have though is who'd be top bunk.
I'm gonna take Barnacus for a walk.
All right. So with a few things buttoned up here, you now have a few choices. You can begin to head towards Seaton today if you like. You can spend the rest of the day here to follow a few leads. What is the general vibe of the party?
Probably go to Seaton? Question mark. Maybe they have vampires.
They can have empires, and it does seem like even if we do find this wooden stake, would still be a little while. They seemed pretty busy when we were there before, so.
I think though that you'll put us at the front of the list. I had this connection kind of going. I think she's, she sees a kindred spirit. She wants to help us out. Still gonna have to spend money.
Well, yeah, of course, it's a business.
Who are you talking about?
This real nice lady that's over at the not the lumberyard, but it's the carpentry guild. Her name is Jalar Kinkleston.
Giggles.
That's a pretty good name.
Yeah,
so you're into the lumber now.
Well, we're gonna commission some furniture. I'm thinking a really big table. I think we like to party, right? We like to eat and feast.
Yeah.
We need to make a big. This is gonna be the feast room, everybody. In the middle of the downstairs, and I'm just talking about all the ideas and getting feedback from people. I want to make everybody happy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with input that you've got, KayBee, I think the party begins to naturally head towards the direction of the ship. Arlen, as you return to the Sea Lily, Agni will say, Captain, I've only been able to secure 1 or 2 contracts, nothing significant. There are some fisher folk here that are not in the mood to work.
That's okay. We need to go to Seaton anyway, as it turns out. So, the contracts aren't needed.
Very good.
Apologies for wasting your day.
No, not at all. It is good to make these relationships and start these conversations. It only makes it easier for the future.
Good thinking.
Very good. Would you like me to notify the first mate that we are setting sail?
Yes, please.
Very good. Agni will begin to set off, and the group of you begin to prepare for travel.
Where are we going, Captain?
Seaton.
What's that?
Were you not at the breakfast table when I
No,
had
he
this
wasn't.
conversation? Oh,
No,
well.
no, they were running after Shern.
Got it. So we received a letter from the king.
What? A letter from the king?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Inviting
How does
us.
the king know you?
Well, the king has heard of all of us, obviously, and is aware of some of my past exploits as well. But he has invited us to Seaton to meet with the Duke for some undetermined business.
A duke? That's
Yes.
really posh folks.
Indeed. So
We got to get nicer clothes.
they know we're adventurers, so it should be fine. But if you would like to get nice clothes, I'm sure by the time we get there, the Duke won't be able to meet with us immediately. So we'll have time.
Garen looks, he's like, I think I'm fine. His clothes and armor that he cleans regularly on a routine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I got some fancy clothes. Keep them in my haversack.
That's good.
Actually, I think we all have fancy clothes because we went to a gala at one point.
Oh yeah.
Okay. As the group of you are traveling on the ocean, it'll take you about 6 hours to get to Seaton. And, yes. And as you're beginning to set sail, you find there are no complications. However, a fog begins to roll in, and a few of the crewmates begin to express their concerns. Seaton is in a bit of an inlet. You're going to have to travel out of the open ocean and further inland, so you might have to disembark or risk smashing the ship into the valley. Imloth comes up to you, Arlen, and others, and says, Captain, so it is of my own personal recommendation that we do not try to dock at Seaton. It could prove dangerous. We don't know exactly how many ships are already docked at Seaton. It is a military fortification, so it could be busy. It could be a troublesome time.
Alright, well, we can anchor offshore a bit out if it does seem to be busy and take a rowboat in.
That would be my recommendation, yes.
Good recommendation.
Okay, we will set it up for you. The 6 hours that pass by are relatively unsurprising. And as the ship comes to a good spot, it is anchored, the masts are rolled up, and the rowboat is readied for you. Who will be joining you to Seaton?
Garen.
Yeah.
Other than the obvious party.
All of the characters.
Yeah.
Do you want to take like Imloth, Quick, Legs?
Ella should probably come.
Okay.
Imloth will need to stay with the ship to look out for everybody.
Yeah, we'll take Quick. Get
Okay.
him out to stretch his legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not gonna bring, unfortunately, as much as I would love to have him, our little chaotic goblin friend.
Oh,
Okay.
no Tully.
No, Tully.
Tully will stay on the ship. And I'm going to assume that
Dude, he
Barnacus
is staying on the ship.
is staying on the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
But is
yeah.
Tully staying and stowing away or actually staying?
I'm searching
Actually-
everybody's bags.
Tully offers to watch Barnacus for you.
Oh,
Oh.
no!
That's
And
potentially
promises to be good.
tragic. Okay. This is gonna go great. Two chaos machines together. Oh boy.
It's gonna feed Barnacus a bunch of sugar and caffeine and give them back to you.
Yay!
All right. So as the group of you begin to row out towards Seaton, you see the silhouette of the large fortress come into view. The air is gray. The walls are gray. Everything is just so drab and dull here. You can see that there are signs of cannon fire that have embedded into the walls. You see that there are a number of different ships of various sizes that come and go, passing by you. Most of them are military in design. You can see soldiers looking down, looking across the water towards the group of you on your rowboat with some measure of curiosity. You definitely stick out here. There don't seem to be very many adventurers heading into Seaton this way, and you are able to dock without much trouble, but it is under heavy scrutiny. You don't have a warm reception. The dockmaster comes up to you and has various paperwork and fees to watch over your rowboat for you, but it is mostly unremarkable. And inside of the fortress here, you can see that there are no marketplaces. There are just fields of soldiers drilling. You can see that there are various guilds where they are crafting, where they are working on various things of industry. No one really wants to talk to you.
Can we tell where the Duke lives or operates or works, or do we need to ask some people?
You could definitely ask. It is probably safe to assume that it'll be in the castle.
Do we see the Duke's
The- sorry,
colors
the keep.
anywhere?
Yes. You see that there are banners hanging, tapestries that move with the sea wind that bear a deep blue color, the color, one of the colors of the king here, and it does bear the heraldry of the Feldrin family.
Based on my previous visit, and maybe more so my long history living in Keoland and knowledge of Keoland, would I know whether this is a permanent residence for this noble, or are they visiting here?
You know that Duke Merrick Feldrin lives here.
Okay. I know a fair bit of history of Keelan, so anything that I see with colors and flags, I point them out.
You would also definitely know about how originally this was given to his older brother, the war hero Oberdus Feldrin. So he literally inherited it out of a technicality because his brother died.
Yeah, so I think at this point, KayBee is just running at the mouth with history. He can't help himself.
Okay, roll me a history check. Let's see if you know any juicy details.
Ooh. Only a 15. Darn.
Okay.
Damn near a fumble.
With a 15, you'll know that the Duke is not popular. That's it.
But you know, the king is really popular. Soldiers like the king a lot. And Duke is okay, I guess.
So as the group of you begin to make your way towards the keep, you are stopped by the guards. No entry without authorization. State your business.
We
had
have
an
a letter
invitation,
from the
soldier.
king.
That is enough. Yeah, you show the letter and you are personally escorted in to the keep itself, and you navigate through various halls. You can see that it is very austere here. There is no gallantry, there is no garish design. It is completely made for the single purpose of being a fortification. And Garen, you have seen places like this all your life.
Right.
It has a singular purpose, and it is for war. And as you are entering into the study of the Duke, you see that there is a simple desk and a man sitting behind it that is in deep conversation with another person. And the person who attends you tells you to wait at the door. And they take the letter, interrupt this conversation, show the letter, and then immediately you see the Duke stand up, cutting off this conversation. The Duke has disheveled hair that is shorn quite close. You can see that it has a bit of a militaristic look to it. They are a bit on the broader side and have mostly unremarkable features. They are not particularly striking. They are not particularly charismatic. They are very tired looking when they look out towards you. The individual that...
Does he look like a soldier?
No.
No?
He does
He's
not.
a noble pretending to be a soldier.
The person that he was speaking to appears to be an officer. She dips her head towards the group of you and passes by without so much as another word. And as the group of you step in, the doors are closed. So you have a private audience with the Duke. The Duke... You're not on the open ocean.
Still, I flourish my cape, my cloak that shows the emblazoned symbol of the sea lily.
You can see that the Duke's eyes flick over towards the heraldry there, but he doesn't say anything on it. He stands up and he puts his hands flat on the desk and looks at the group of you, slowly pushing the letter towards your direction. It is good that you have arrived. I was not expecting your attendance so swiftly. I am Duke Merrick Feldrin, and you are Arlen Rulath, Kiss Me Brightbloom, Garen Frank Wern, Finn Carson, and who are you? They look to you, Paul, tilting their head.
I'm Pole of Ammonfort.
Pole of Ammonfort. Yes. Well, this is a matter that requires some discretion, and we have been told from various agents working out of Saltmarsh that you are dependable, that you have proven yourselves worthy of the Council of Saltmarsh's trust. Perhaps that trust can be extended towards the king. I will be your handler for this mission if you would like to accept it.
And what is this mission?
It would be seen as an act of military interest if we sent our own patrol or units across the Javan Bay to the hold of the Sea Princes. We do not wish to rile up any kind of diplomatic feathers. So it is the king's interest to hire a party of you on his behalf. There is a village on the Eel coast called Uskarn. The people there, well, let's just say that we wish to fortify our allegiances and support of the people that live on the other side of the bay. The hold of Sea Princes can be quite precarious. There are pockets of lawlessness. Pirates run rampant. It is difficult for us to maintain any sort of control or order on the Eel coast. Perhaps you can help keep the king's interests in mind. Help the people there. And if they ask, it was the king that helped them.
Can you, Stella, remind us who the Sea Princes are?
Yeah, so the Sea Princes, so essentially there are a handful of warlords that are pirates. This whole area is just rampant with pirates, and they aren't necessarily a unified body of government, but there's a ton of shifting diplomatic relationships that happen. And a lot of it revolves around trading, merchants, smuggling, piracy. And it's all just a huge gray area / very illegal stuff. And it is essentially the efforts of Kyoland to try to fight against piracy and try to make some measure of security, at least in Kyoland, especially on the Kyoland shore.
All right, so you would like us to go to these people and help them for the purposes of perhaps inciting insurrection against the Sea Princes?
No.
So that...
It is not our intention to cause a revolution or bring any harm to the people there. It is simply that we cannot go ourselves to help them. It might send the wrong message.
Yes, KayBee, I see you raised your hand.
Actually, Stella,
Yes.
DM, my question is, I know some things about Sea Princes. I don't know if KayBee does. I would assume my history check might tell me, or what have you. I suspect,
roll me a history check.
Yeah, my line of inquiry is I actually suspect that there is the possibility of political conflict stemming from this mission. What Arlen is talking about, I think this is not without political consequence.
Oh, yes.
So-
That's literally why you're being asked to work, because essentially, it's going to look bad if military people go over towards an area that isn't their jurisdiction to do like humanitarian aid, because it might look like an invasion force, right? It might look bad. It might look like they're trying to make a strategic military move, where if they hire someone else to do it, you can come and go as you like. You're just people. You're not the military.
And if things go sideways, we get disavowed. We hired them. They did a different job. Whatever.
Yeah.
But if we do good, then
Exactly.
So on the invitation of Arlen, when KB raises his hand, KB, I don't know if there's chairs around. KB will stand on the chair so he's fully visible to this Duke.
Sir, would you say that there's things that we need to not do when we go there? I guess I'm concerned about potential political intrigue. We don't want to create a problem.
Represent King Scotty to the best of your ability, as you will be going as agents of the crown. But beyond that, there should be no trouble. Do not engage in smuggling or other illicit activities.
If the people of these villages say, oh, the sea princes are doing terrible things, can you go please get them away from us? Is that such a request that we should not honor?
You see that he lifts up a hand, he rubs at his neck. Anyone who wants to roll an insight check, you're absolutely welcome to do so.
I would love to roll an insight check.
Okay, that's an 8 from KayBee, 21 from Garen, 7 from Pole, 16 from Finn, 21 from Arlen. Okay. Garen and Arlen, you can read this guy up and down. The Duke is not a military man. You can tell that whenever this title got passed to him on a technicality, he had boots to fill that was a completely different world than the world he used to be in. He seems at a loss for words. He seems like he's probably a sheltered person. He stumbles a bit as he rubs his neck. It isn't really my place to tell you yes or no with that. I would lean to the judgment that the council has put on you, that you are trustworthy, that you are good folk with best intentions in mind. To just do what you can.
Very well. And what of compensation?
Right. He opens a drawer, pulls out a bag of coin. This is 100 gold pieces. You will get this now in advance, and upon completion, securing Uskarn to be a safe place, and letting the council know there that the king is concerned about their well-being. Another 200 gold. And whatever you find there, you can keep it.
Would you permit us the evening to discuss this amongst ourselves?
Of course. He leans back, closing the drawer. He looks over the group of you. His eyes flick the pole again, then away. He says, very well. You can take up residence in the barracks if you like, or there is an inn outside of the fortress.
Take the barracks, take the barracks, take the barracks. I stayed in that inn.
Garen, you would know that barracks suck. They always suck. There's too many people. They're stinky. There's no privacy.
Yeah. I mean, not that most people in the party would care. You also see a lot of bare ass. But I vote we go to the inn. I've seen enough of barracks in my life.
Got my seat on a ship.
The ship is a little bit out, but the inn should be viable enough.
In
Paul's
name
concerned that
generator.
he's gonna miss Naked Day.
It's the crusty lobster.
That's right.
That's right, we already named it.
established. And KayBee doesn't approve of the place, but Arlen's the boss.
Okay, I'm so sorry. KayBee, the inn that you stayed at was called the Iron Crab.
Oh,
So what is the consensus of the party? Where will you rest for the day?
I think the inn.
and
Okay.
Again.
Very good. You leave the keep. As you do, you are eyeballed with a measure of scrutiny. Soldiers, officers, anyone that sees you, there's so many questions in their eyes. What happened? Why are they here? Who do they work for? A few of them, their eyes linger, particularly on the heraldry that KayBee wears on their cloak.
Proudly.
You have been seen. You can tell that people are talking about you. As you make your way out of the main wall of Seaton, you find this dingy establishment. It's 2 stories. It's got a thatch roof, and you can tell that it's seen better days. The way that the wood is worn indicates that it probably predates the fortress itself. Maybe even one of the last remaining buildings of former Seaton. And as you enter in, it is empty. There are chipped tables, wobbly chairs, and there is a single person behind the bar, and they are sleeping, snoring loudly.
Well, we don't want to wake him up, so I'll pour the drinks. Paul goes behind the bar and starts grabbing bottles, tapping kegs.
Person does not rise. You can tell they are heavily sleeping pretty quickly.
I'll press to digitate some cups. Maybe we'll come away without major illness.
All right, so what do we think?
well, we are. If things go sideways, we are the scapegoats. If things go great, we make the king look good. Either way, we're expendable.
I didn't like the way that Duke was looking at me.
I don't
Did
like
or
that.
did not?
I didn't.
I don't like that Duke in general.
You know him?
No.
I've never seen him before, but he's given me the stink eye.
He seems like he's not sure how to do any of what he's doing.
I think my main concern is we're being asked to do this for significantly less than the small town of Saltmarsh paid us to do much relatively similar things.
I mean, we got more than we could ever spend anyway, so who cares about the money?
I do. I care about the money.
Are you gonna buy another ship?
Maybe.
All right.
Got a lot of mouths to feed.
I'm kind of following Paul. The money isn't that big of a deal to me. I just don't like what we're being asked to do.
I'm not sure I even understood what we were asked to do.
Very
Basically.
intangible. They're
Yeah.
basically saying, go to this place, help them however they ask to be helped, and then leave.
Yeah.
Well, that
very-
sounds all right.
It's very open-ended, high risk, and
What's risky about it?
we are going into a area controlled by criminals.
Yeah, pirates everywhere.
Were the pirates
we-
that we dealt with and took our ship from the sea princes?
Oh,
Or were
Good
they
question.
affiliated?
I think they were smugglers, and we haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
They were definitely smugglers, but some of them had some good pirate clothes.
You know, somebody's getting rich off the smuggling in Saltmarsh. I don't know who's rich.
We're pretty rich.
You would know that there is an active effort in Saltmarsh to squish out the smuggling, especially because it's owned by the king, or the king's presence has moved in, right? There's a huge thing about like smuggling's bad, piracy's bad, we need to take down the pirates. It's a pretty big thing with the dynamic in Saltmarsh.
Yeah, but if I remember right, their economy was reliant on the smuggling.
It's a pretty safe assumption. Because Saltmarsh used to
does the
operate.
king need more money? He just wants to tax it all. That's why he doesn't like the smuggling. Just moving things from place to place, and they don't get their bit. They want to make it against the law.
You hear taxes? Fuck. Not the taxes.
Oh, shit.
The
I'll put the glasses back down and get them from behind the bar.
the owner kind of stumbles up. You see this old dwarven man. He has a scruffy beard and he's bald. He has these bushy eyebrows and they're salt and pepper. He looks up at the group of you and he begins to pour himself a drink. He's
I flip a gold piece up on the counter and I speak in Dwarvish to him. You know, drinks all around.
He looks at it. He sleepily looks at the group of you, takes the gold coin, pockets it, just has no questions. He said, "Are we talking about the Duke and the taxes? Fucking hate taxes."
Yeah, taxes. No good, am I right?
Takes a hearty, just glop, glop, glop. There's foam, beer foam in his beard. The Duke intends to raise taxes to fund some sort of aggressive expansion of the Royal Navy. Taxes. Oh, if only.
Oh, he's not going to share it with the people. Shocking.
No. You know who was a real man of the people? Albertus Feldrin. He used to come in every Sunday and share breakfast with me.
It's the bloke that got killed, right?
It depends on who you ask. Some people say he fell ill. Some people say there was some foul play. The Duke insists that it was traitors in service to the Sea Princes.
You don't think that's true?
All I know is a good man's gone, and we're stuck with the shittier, younger version. The houses I grew around, they're gone. All that's left is the iron crab.
I don't have much reason to disagree with you on your assessment of the Duke.
You've got enough beds for us here. We thought we were coming to an inn, but it looks like it's not quite been kept up.
He reaches into wherever he took the gold coin. He takes it out to look at it again. Puts it away. I've got beds upstairs. They're all made up. You can pick whatever one you want.
All right.
What are you supposed to be? Adventurers?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't had adventurers roll through here before. You see that he turns his head to look at you, KayBee, and he kind of squints his eyes. He's trying to... something on the tip of his tongue.
I speak to him in Dwarven and I say, "Kiss me, bright bloom." And I mention the name of the Dwarven Smithies Guild and the Mining Guild in Gradsul, where I worked. I tell him I'm an honorary dwarf.
Hmm. Someone like you came through here several months ago.
That might have been me.
No. You're too young. You just goes to drink. There's no food. No hot food. We've got cheese. But the beds are yours.
All right. Thank you.
Garen throws him another gold piece for the rooms.
He looks at it and then he looks you up and down. What's that for?
For the rooms.
You've-
Just don't tell the Duke we gave it to you.
He stops mid-sentence. He's like, he takes it. He puts it away. All right.
Mind if I liven up the place a bit? Pull out me loot.
Do whatever you want. And he like pushes out of the stool, scratches his ass, and then he goes into the kitchen and you can see through the open door he's just looking for cheese.
All right. So, how are we feeling about all this?
Well, on the surface of it, it sounds all right. Going over to some place where people need help and helping them. So I'm all about.
That's true. But what if helping them is getting involved with all these pirates?
I'm not necessarily against pirates, Fairway. We can't find out until we go there. Duke's not going to tell us the truth about it.
That's true.
Do we know the reputation of these pirates? Are they like cruel, nasty, bloodthirsty, or are they just kind of like pretty chill, doing their own thing? They've got these free cities that they freed or are overseeing kind of, but not necessarily taking care of super well.
So it depends on the sea prince.
Okay.
There's a wide variety.
How many sea princes are there?
I don't know. The module doesn't say.
KayBee will spill everything he knows about sea princes.
Yeah, go for
KayBee,
it.
how many sea princes are there?
Well, I think you could say there's probably a half dozen really important ones. But, you know, some places you go, you throw a rock and there's a 99% chance you're going to hit a prince. It's like that in the Great Kingdom far out there to the east. So there's lots of them. More importantly, there's lots of pirates. And they're lords, they're princes. Some of them are pirates too.
All right. Well, one cause for concern is we have quite a large ship, and going to these potentially smaller villages that might draw attention. Is there the possibility that our ship might be attacked?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Perfect.
We need
That-
soldiers.
That's fun.
Maybe we might want to hire some more mercenaries or soldiers or something to come. Well, I guess not soldiers. They wouldn't like that, but mercenaries to help defend the ship.
You know that about half of your crew are combatants. Not the entire Sea Lily crew is combat ready.
Yeah. That's why hiring a few more might be good.
I agree.
Let me get
Where would you hire them from?
Yeah, whoever wants to do a history check here.
Dude, EGPG.
I'd like to use one of my advantages.
Okay.
Daddy food.
That's a 19 from Finn, a 10 from Pole, 16 from Arlen, 22 from KayBee. Okay. Pole, KayBee, and Finn. You all know that not too far away is...
Well, there's Burl.
Burl.
There's
Yeah.
Gradsul. Gradsul's farther to the east, though.
You know
A little
that
bit.
Burl is a fortified outpost, and it sits on the edge of the Dreadwood, and it is a great place to hire mercenaries because they have specifically a pretty strong culture of like, do you hunt monsters and do you want to get paid? well, here's a job for you, right? So there's a lot of that in Burl.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so do we want to accept this job from the Duke, go to Burl, hire a few more people, head over?
There are risks, but I'm willing to do it.
I might see if I can negotiate him to pay us a little bit more, but
Yeah. I'd suggest trying to get a little bit more. Considering, like you said, we've done equal, if not more, in some cases, than what we're asked for now for a little extra money.
And Captain, I'd say as well, the Duke warned us against smuggling, but that doesn't stop us from doing legitimate trade. There could be shipments that need to go that way.
This is true.
it's true.
Also, wasn't there a thing that said that we take whatever we find or such?
He did say that we could take what we find.
Maybe we can make it worth our while, whatever we find.
Yeah, but you should always try to get more money where you can.
Oh, no,
Yes.
but best of both worlds.
Especially since we are looking to hire more crew.
Yes, we're
We
going to need to
more
pay them. We're going to need to pay them.
And while officially we can't necessarily say that we're representatives of the king, maybe there's some official documentation you can give us in case we're stopped by the Navy or somebody.
I think we better screen these mercenaries pretty good. We're supposed to be doing this kind of clandestine mission, and then we've got people we don't even know on board.
Yeah, but they're just on board to protect the ship, not necessarily to come on it or come off it into the villages.
Right.
If they're from the same area, though, they could be pirate planes. And then when they see the sails up, they could turn on us.
Is Brill near an area that would be controlled by one of the Sea Princes, PM?
No. So if you look at the map here, so Seaton is towards the bottom of the map, but on the other side of Saltmarsh, towards the northwest, is Burl. So it's pretty deep into Saltmarsh. Well, I mean, you could argue that anyone in this general area could work for the Sea Princes. People in Saltmarsh could reasonably be working for the Sea Princes. But it is pretty mainland. It is further in. It's not on the shore. So it'd probably be a pretty deep plant if someone's in Burl.
Could we get to Burl on the Sea Lily?
No.
Okay.
The way it looks like to me is we have to get back to Saltmarsh and then more or less walk the way there.
Let me double check. You might be able to rowboat.
It does seem to be a little bit of a...
But while the DM's looking, Garen will respond to a poll and say basically what we concluded. No, it's far enough out of their range. I think we're okay with some scrutiny, but
Yeah, Burl's on a
not too
river.
deep.
So you could boat
Alright.
up there, but not with the Sea Lily.
Does anybody know elves or rangers from the Dreadwood? Garen? Finn?
No.
No. Sorry.
that I can remember.
How far away is the other coast? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, so the Duke would have shown you a map of where Uskarn is, which is on the Eel coast, and it's about 30 leagues away. So the same amount of distance from here in Saltmarsh. Another 6-hour ride across the ocean. 100 miles.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, let's rest up and we can talk to the Duke in the morning and figure out the details.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay. As the group of you settle in for the rest of the day.
Oh, hold on, because as Arlen goes to their room, Garen did promise to talk to her about the Solmore Manor.
Yeah.
But we got 2 on the boat. So
While they do that, KayBee is going to pick the brain of the barkeep, since he has a little bit of an affinity going there, trying to learn more about the Duke and what's not good about the Duke.
Okay. So Arlen and Garen, go ahead.
So I don't know if KB showed you the piece of paper that he had found, but we did some scouting in the Saltmarsh Manor when KB and I walked Saltmarsh Anders home. I don't know what to make of that scrap of paper. KB says it's an expensive paper, but not too expensive. And not much to go on with 2 letters. He found it in the fireplace in the study. I snuck back in, wound up coming face to face with another individual that was sneaking inside of the manor, also looking for information.
Do you know what information they were looking for?
No. I mean, when you're sneaking, when you catch each other sneaking into a place neither of you belong, you don't exchange pleasantries. It's kind of not a thing you do.
That makes
And
sense.
beyond that, we were interrupted. Do you remember that weird monkey-like creature that was on the boat when we first took over?
Yes, absolutely.
It all of a sudden tried to break in the window at the Solmar Manor.
All right.
So we kind of had to flee. But also some other interesting things. The individual that I ran into had gold eyes, and they were wearing a navy cloak, similar to the King's army.
All right, that's good information.
Yes. So it tells me that the king is interested in something in there, or at least an operative of the king.
Is Anders the one that we've suspected was potentially involved in smuggling stuff?
Mm-mm. That was
He's the young boy.
Yeah, Anders is a young boy that is just getting his legs under him on the council.
Yeah, his parents died, and he took over their fishing
Yeah.
business. I think
Galen.
actually he has more than fishing. I think he has fishing and trading.
Yeah.
I believe it is both, yes.
Yeah, it's Galen Prime Water that we've been suspecting of the smuggling.
All right.
Galen is the Prime Water family. They are the most successful merchant family in Saltmarsh.
How long ago did Anders take up his current position?
It's been like 2-3 years.
I feel like the monkey would be going back to a place it was familiar with. And this was a smuggling ship before. So something to keep in mind. This is good information. Do you have any ideas what the SC might be in reference to? Any theories?
I can't come up with any. Wait.
All right.
Does Garen know the name of either of Anders' parents?
I don't think you do.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I mean, do you... I wish I had thought of this before we left. The name of Anders' parents. That could be something as well.
Well, we'll be crossing through Saltmarsh again. So we can find out once we're back.
Indeed. But yeah, as far as anything more about the individual I ran into in the manor, literally more nondescript than me. I don't
Not saying
know
something.
I know.
All
They
right.
literally vanished. I go
Gold
invisible
eyes.
and they vanished with gold eyes. Anyway. Okay.
Was it magical gold eyes or just regular gold eyes?
I'm not sure how to tell the difference.
All right.
I mean, beyond the gold eyes, I have no idea of race, gender, nothing.
Okay, that is a lot of things to look out for, but we will look out for them.
Yeah,
Thank you for letting me know.
no problem. Garen heads back to his room, or heads off to a room and chooses one, and starts his nightly routine to clean his gear.
Okay. KayBee, what are you doing?
So, not that we need to go through all of it, but I'm picking the brain of the barkeep and encouraging him to drink a little bit, and I drink a little bit, and share a few old dwarven jokes. Maybe once, since I don't know how old he is, but I'm much older than I appear, and really trying to just make him comfortable. That way, he kind of shares everything that he might decide to share about his Duke. You know, we've heard a little bit already from him, but just trying to build up knowledge there, because I think Arlen and the party, they have their concerns about this guy, kind of shifty, you know, and frankly, these nobles, these leaders, they kind of rub KayBee the wrong way as well. KayBee is a good guy at heart. He's willing to follow the laws of the land, but honestly, you know, doing good things for good people is at his core. And this guy doesn't seem to be, this Duke doesn't seem to be a very nice guy. So
Yeah,
could be part of a greater problem set.
Yeah, the bartender does not hold back and seems more than eager to talk shit about the Duke. And they tell you a bit about the history between the brothers and how the Duke is received in Seaton and by the people who live here, used to live here. KayBee, you have drawn the Vizier card. You can ask one question and you'll get a forthcoming answer that will be helpful.
Simple. What does SC on that piece of paper mean?
Okay. Great.
I have my suspicions, but I had to wait for
Okay.
this.
That's so good.
Good
Damn.
question. Good question.
Okay, so you have this long conversation with the bartender. His name is Dorn. Dorn, you have this conversation for several hours. It gets late into the night, and Dorn is heavily drinking. And the longer that this conversation goes, it becomes to unravel. It seems to kind of become unhinged. Dorn begins to talk about a secret society and begins to talk about how he thinks that this secret society has something to do with the Duke, that there is this underground network of something nefarious, and he keeps having these weird dreams. And for some reason, the color red keeps coming back.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're a catalyst for conflict, subterfuge, whatever that word is, and assassination. That's called the Scarlet Brotherhood.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I thought so.
And then he passes out.
I pat him on the head. I tuck another gold piece in his belt. Mark that off. Very well. Got lots to talk about with the boss.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If there's anything else anyone wants to do before we fast forward?
Well, Paul he's pretty bored, so he's been just trying to come up with new songs in his lute, and all this stuff about the dead predecessor of the Duke has inspired him. So he kind of writes a song about that, kind kind of a folk song, what happened, and putting in all of the different conspiracy ideas of how he could have died. No one really knows, but maybe the Duke knows, or something like that. He's putting that in his song.
Mhm.
When Dorn passes out, he'll grab somebody else, and we need to get this guy in a bed. It's the only decent thing to do. And want to grab the legs, and I'll haul him upstairs to one of the beds.
I think it would either be Finn or KayBee to help you.
Or quick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll say that Quick will move forward and help shoulder Dorn. The bedrooms here are pretty humble. They smell a little sweaty, but they are relatively clean. You can see that it is probably very difficult for one person to run an establishment like this, but also it's pretty evident that there aren't very many people that come through here. You are currently the only customers of the Iron Crab, and it is quiet other than the group of you. So, with a bit of scuffling around, heaving and grunting, you manage to deposit Dorn onto one of the beds, and they are just out. And Quick gives you an appreciative nod, Pull. This tall Kenku fighter.
Goes
Where-
round, comes around, friend.
Can I ask an important question that we haven't really like mentioned since landing ashore?
Mhm.
What's up with Ella?
Oh, yes.
Because she came with us.
Yes.
She did. Oh my god, I forgot.
Right. This is why I wanted to ask who's coming with us. Okay. Quick has been quiet. You know that Quick doesn't speak, so Quick just kind of chills out. Ella has been buried in books, and even throughout this whole conversation between KayBee and Dorn, she has had her nose buried in the book. She's looked up a couple of times as the conversations become more and more unhinged, but she doesn't seem to pay too much attention to it. So by the time that Dorn gets hauled up, Ella falls asleep just from exhaustion at one of the tables.
I would say at some point Garen would go down to check on everybody, and if he sees her asleep at the table, he'd try to gently wake her. If not, he'd carry her up to her room.
Yeah. Oh, Garen. Oh, how embarrassing. I've fallen asleep in my books. She closes it very gently. You can see on the cover, it is an interesting material. You can't quite place it. It is this deep violet leather-like thing, and it has some silver studs on the side that appear quite pointy.
Interesting book.
Ah, yes, this is my grimoire, my spellbook.
Okay. Why don't you go to bed? Pick a room. You work yourself too hard.
She grabs your elbow and gives it a gentle squeeze. Well, I want to help figure out what's going on with you and your companions, as I promised. So,
We appreciate that. But it does you no good to push yourself too hard. Come on, let's get you to bed.
okay. And she'll quietly go up the stairs.
And yeah, that's it for Garen.
Okay. The morning comes. And as it does, you seek out the Duke and you give your answer. Do you wish to accept the quest?
I think we.
Can I try to negotiate for a little more?
Yes. Roll me persuasion or performance or deception.
Question. In
Yes.
advance of Arlen throwing numbers out there, I think we probably would have talked to Garen. What's a reasonable fee to hire mercenaries? Garen might know, right?
Yeah, I did say in his history he did command, but probably not that level. Maybe he's heard something. Maybe. Let's find out. History check.
With a
Stella?
6 history, it could vary so much, and it depends on region, it depends on availability, depends on what you're hiring them for. It's so wild.
Garen just likes shooting and stabbing people.
Yeah.
My friend KayBee gave me a
History check.
blessing earlier at the beginning of the stream.
Yes.
Can I use that just to have advantage?
Yes. Go ahead and roll again.
That's better.
23. Okay. You are able to talk to the Duke, and especially with the conversations, the additional information that KayBee has gotten from Dorn, and just the general vibes that the group of you have gotten from the Duke, you can tell that he riles up very easily. He goes from being this tired, confused, uncomfortable guy to someone who gets very passionate. And once you start talking to him and hitting on some of these points, specifically talking about either his brother or the Sea Princes, how dangerous it is, the implications that could be, it's really easy to spin it up in a direction of, this is really dangerous, and we should be paid more. We need to go get more people to join us, and you really need this to happen. And I would like an insight check from Arlen. 16. Okay. With a 16, and with the nuance of this conversation, you're totally able to determine that the Duke was holding some money back. And you can tell that this is a greedy ass dude. And as you navigate this conversation, you manage to get him to give up some more money. So he gives you another 200 gold in advance, and he will pay you 300 gold when you come back.
Okay. That's better. So 300 before, 300 after.
Yes.
So that's 60 gold for each of us right now. And we accept the mission.
Okay, very good. The group of you make your way back onto the Sea Lily, and you begin to head in the direction of Saltmarsh. And as you do, you have the option of taking a rowboat all the way up to Burl, or you can go by foot.
Which would be faster / less exhausting.
It would definitely be faster to go by rowboat. It'll be more exhausting, probably, but you can also take turns rowing.
Paul doesn't mind rowing. We'll get us there fast.
We'll go rowboat.
Okay. As you begin to make your way towards Burl, you find that Burl is much more colorful and interesting than Seaton was. You find that it is a bustling place. There are adventurers just like you coming in and out. You can see that some folks are wheeling in wagons with a shambling mound on it. You can see that there are people moving around with various monster heads hanging from their belts. You can see that there are some folk there that clearly have never been on an adventure before. There's just a wide gamut of people that have come in and out. How would you like to approach this? We will montage this for the sake of time.
I think we do interviews and trials. We certainly judge, our experienced warriors in our midst probably serve as a judge. We probably want a mix of skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'll
Paul will
also
actually
say-
go out into the bars and start talking to people.
There you go.
Just-
Yeah, I will say that Garen, when the first time he sees people walking with monster heads hanging from the belt, he mutters under his breath about trophy hunting. But nothing more than that.
Paul, can I get either a persuasion or performance check from you? Okay, 13. You warm up quite easily. You are a very charismatic person, and you're very interesting. You've got a lot of interesting and exciting stories to grab these people. When you're at the various bars talking to them, your conversations are quickly led in a direction of you should be careful about trying to headhunt mercenaries publicly, because the Castellan of Burl, Kiara Shadowbreaker, is very passionate about trying to keep people safe and is trying to get as many people as she can to go out into the Dreadwood and take care of these monsters. So you get the impression of Kiara is going to get pissed if she finds out that you're trying to take people away from Burl and away from the Dreadwood.
Well, thanks for letting me know. I'll tell the captain.
Very good.
And
You'll
I
be
will.
safe out there.
So, Captain, turns out we've got competition for these mercs. And she might be upset at us trying to, take them away because she's got business trying to get done in the Dreadwood. The Castellan, his name is Kiara Shadowbreaker.
All right. Well,
Maybe you can talk to her or something.
I don't know how necessary that is. When we're going to be in and out of here pretty quick, hopefully.
Still, it's a bad idea to burn bridges when we don't need to.
Well, all right, fine. I'll talk to her.
Okay. Pretty easily, you're able to seek an audience with Kiara. The group of you are standing outside of her office. There's a small muddy field where people have been practicing archery. You see that Kiara is a bit of a grim figure. You can tell immediately that she is a veteran adventurer, that she is a leader. She has a presence about her, and is completely the opposite of the Duke. She stands wide-stanced, her arms crossed underneath her bust. She is hot, yes. Of course she's hot. You see that she has this jagged scar that goes down her face, and she has this bow strung over her chest, and there are a number of knives on her hips. And she says, "To whom am I speaking to?"
Arlen Ruvaloth of the Sea Lily. And these are my companions.
All right. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And you as well. We were hoping that we could receive your blessing to hire a few mercenaries for a mission that we have been approached by the king to undertake.
You see she's drawn in with curiosity, but as soon as you mention the king, she huffs. Look, I don't know what it is that the king wants you to do, but we've got real threats here, right now, on our doorstep. The things that come crawling out of the Dreadwood are things of nightmares. If it wasn't for my rangers, if it wasn't for the people here focusing on that, Saltmarsh wouldn't exist. Things would be overrun. Houses would be razed. People will be eaten. This is important work.
It is. I absolutely agree. And you all have done an incredible job throughout. How long has the Dreadwood been shitty?
Forever.
That's the
Throughout
definition
the
of Dreadwood.
centuries
Yes.
of keeping this legion safe. I do not intend to take a significant amount of manpower away from you. Merely 2 to 3 of starter mercenaries. They'll be able to get some training from more experienced adventurers out on the seas and be able to bring that experience back to help combat the enemies in the Dreadwood. And they will be compensated.
Nor do we want them to be in danger. We want additional help on our boat to help protect that. All goes well, they will return to you with no additional scars.
Well, here's what I think. I think I give you my blessing. But in return, I want you all to do some monster hunting yourselves. Help the effort. Keep the people safe so they can sleep at night.
We did do some monster hunting in the Dreadwood at one point, didn't we? Didn't we kill some things from the Dreadwood? This was a while ago. I feel like some monsters escaped from the Dreadwood.
Yes, they
We
did.
had to kill them.
Yes. That is true. God, we're coming up on like episode 40. I don't remember. Probably.
All I could think of was the island, so I didn't know if that was even connected. So
I agree with Arlen. There was something. KayBee will roll a history check.
The answer is yes.
Stella will make it up.
No, the answer is yes. I do remember that the competition, one of the competitions was that there were posters of like defeat the giant crabs that were taken from Burl.
I remember that now.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was so the thing I'm referring to was before that.
I think y'all fought some shambling mounds, right?
That was again at the
Yes.
competitions. No, I'm remembering really early on there was something from the Druid about the Dreadwood, but I
Yes.
don't remember the resolution.
That might have been episode 2. 3.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Probably no follow-up or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like we all forgot about
It's
it.
been a constant problem.
Right.
So what do you say? Come back and fight for me.
If you're comfortable, once we finish our quest for the king, I'm more than happy to come back and help provide some services to kill some creatures of the night.
All right. Shake on it.
I spit in my hand.
She spits in her hand. Clap hands. She says, ha, fucking king. What does a king want anyway?
Unfortunately, can't discuss.
Oh, I just thought of something. In the Dreadwood, do you got any vampires?
Oh, that's a good question. We were wanting to kill some
Oh,
vampires.
right.
She
I
would
knew that
know. Hold on.
This is Monster Central, right?
That's very true. I forgot all about that.
Yes, she says, absolutely. Terrifying things. You'll find them in the dreaded deeps.
If you could
Kill two
save
bats
some
with
of
one
those for
stone.
us,
Just save them for us.
when we get back, that would be wonderful.
Save them? Listen, the Dreadwood has layers. Some might even say 3 layers. The outer fringe, the middle reaches, and the dreaded deeps. We don't go into the dreaded deeps. Anyone that goes into the dreaded deeps is asking for trouble.
I heard they got like dragons and stuff in there.
And vampires.
You
Oh.
may not go into the dreaded deeps.
I've been there. That's how I know there's vampires.
That's great. Well, save some of the dreaded deeps for us for when we get back. and we'll do some killing for you.
All right. Can't give me a hint? A little bit of something? What's the king want with you?
It involves a boat.
A boat.
Yep,
Boat
that's all I
where?
can say. That's all I can say. I apologize.
How did the
Bound
king?
to secrecy.
How did the king come to talk to you?
Bound to secrecy.
Fucking secrets.
Well, we'll be on our way. We'll recruit a few people. We'll send you a note of who we're taking, and then we'll return them safe and sound, and we will come back as soon as we are able.
You can tell that something about the secrecy is making her really uncomfortable. Hold on. Where's this information? Okay.
Garen's honestly a little happy about her getting uncomfortable about the secrets.
So who gave you the letter from the king?
Who said it was a letter?
Person, then. Was it the Duke?
I cannot say.
She tries to read you like a book. 1d20. Oh my god, I rolled a nat 20.
Hell
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
let's go.
Hold on.
Ooh.
Let me
Deception.
roll a deception check.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get a nat 20.
Maybe.
Message was delivered by your mom.
Wow.
Wow,
Oh!
22. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Okay. She leans in. You can smell the oil from handling and cleaning her weapons on her person from how close she gets.
Take me to dinner first.
Alright. I'll stop with the questions. Be on your way, do your thing. Report back to me as soon as you finish your business with the king.
Will do. Thank you for your assistance.
She turns around and she just like kicks some mud and then walks away.
As we all go away, Finn will turn and look at her and go, I'm terribly sorry. There's just a lot of secrets in Saltmarsh. And walk away.
Oh, and then you wink at the camera.
Yep.
Well punned.
All right, zombie, you get a free nat 20 for that.
Yes!
Let's go.
Ugh!
I've never given anyone a free nat 20.
I know, I feel so
It's a
privileged.
historic moment. Clip
Yeah.
it. Clip it.
Right?
I will later.
The
Future
clip
zombie.
master's playing.
All right.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, as we're walking away. Finn, Cole, do you think your carpenter person will accept an arrow as a stake that's killed a vampire?
I don't know, KayBee, do you think they would accept it?
They said they wanted a stake that killed a vampire, I think.
Well, it had to be something that looks more like a steak, I guess, but we could always get it to look something similar.
Can you shoot a stake as an arrow?
If you have a big
Never
enough
tried.
bow, you could probably try.
With how good at Garen is at killing things, probably possible.
Yeah.
If we're talking someone like Garen, of course, but...
So, you begin your recruitment efforts. I'm gonna do 3 checks here. 1 for drawing in a crowd. 2 for convincing them to sign up. And 3 to check out if they might be trustworthy. So I think,
Well,
2
Paul is our attention grabber.
Yeah, so Paul, if you want to do a performance or persuasion to get some people to drum up interest.
And can we have the help action of us having this discussion of killing things with a stake or firing a stake from an arrow to kill things?
We're just talking about that on the side, and people are
Yeah,
like, oh,
sure.
yeah.
So go ahead and roll a performance or persuasion poll at advantage.
grab attention by both cheeks.
Yes, Calamity. Also, hi.
No,
I love
that's
you.
terrible.
Damn, 2 11s. Okay. Paul, tell me why this is the most lukewarm. Like, it's interesting. People are stopping and they're listening, but maybe for the wrong reasons. Tell me what happens here.
Well, I think Paul, he does his thing with the loot and making illusions of what he wants to have happen, which is showing people with burly people with swords and crossbows and stuff coming to us, getting money, and fighting off pirates. But he ends up making the pirates look like somebody that is there in the audience by accident. And they're like,
So I was like, hey, that's me.
and they get insulted by it, basically. Like, they're not in, and they're like, this guy's just a clown. He's not actually useful. He's not helping us get a job. He's just a clown.
Yeah. That hurts my feelings. I don't appreciate that. You don't have permission to use my likeness. And it kind of,
Oh, sorry.
you get like a mixed reception here. You will still get people, but not a lot of people will apply. All right, we're going to need someone to do a persuasion check here to get them to sign up. You've got the attention of some people.
That might be me.
Okay.
Can
Do we
I
interrogate them first?
Yeah, so we can do this as a joint thing. So I want a persuasion check to get people to sign up, and then I want an insight check to insight or investigation to either interrogate them, gut check them.
That's
gonna
KayBee.
Yeah, I'm going to ask them some very challenging, complicated questions to see if I can catch them in a lie.
Okay.
Just like Border Patrol.
Yeah.
31. Let's go.
Oh, that was a history check.
Oh no.
It's okay. I'll still honor the nat 20 because I'm a cool GM.
You're a
Oh
cool
my
GM.
God, you're so cool.
Oh,
Okay.
So cool.
So KayBee, describe to me what this looks like as you just completely grill these people.
So I start light with simple questions. Where are you from? What do you do? And then I drill in and ask them questions. Well, do you really know what you're talking about? You know the front and back of a crossbow? And then I kind of take it full circuit. I use their words against them and see if they falter. Those who shine through, those who really demonstrate they know what they talking about, and seem to pass at least the technical side of this evaluation. Then I pass those on to
Okay.
for analysis by our leader.
Go ahead and roll me a d10, KayBee. All right. You have 8 solid candidates, Arlen.
Nice. Can I have advantage for my persuasion check?
Yes.
Okay.
20. Dirty 20. Very good. Yeah, you talk to these people, and through the questions, I think just the manner of how intense the questions are, they seem very curious by the time they get to you, Arlen. They've survived the mixed feelings performance. They've survived the relentless assault of questions. And by the time they get to you, they're like, I want in. Sign me up. Let's do this. So we'll say
Perfect.
that there are 4 melee combatants and then 4 ranged combatants.
Okay. I don't know that we need that many.
Yeah, so you get to choose from them. They will, with a 20, I'm going to say that in general, the amount of money that they're willing to accept is about 6 silver each a day.
Okay.
And
I'll
these are all
take-
solid people.
Yeah. I'll take 2 ranged combatants and 1 melee combatant.
Okay.
And I'll just go ahead and pay each of them. I'll pay them each 8 gold for right now.
All right. They are very happy and very pleased with this. They're like, no questions asked. Let's go. We're ready. Yeah, that's a lot of money, especially if they're only expecting 6 silver a day. So you have your new hires, and I'll come up with the details of them. I'll come up with their names and stuff next session. But
Okay.
is there anything else that the group of you want to do in Burl before you head out? All right. The group of you begin to make your way back towards the Sea Lily. And as you board the ship, introductions are made, and it begins to set off in the direction of Uskarn. As the scene fades to black, we see one final scene. Somewhere in the alleyways of Saltmarsh, there's a flourish of a navy cloak as someone goes around a bend. They're trying to avoid being seen. They feel like they're being followed. It was absolutely terrible that they were seen last night. They had hoped to get in and out and leave no trace, but it was crucial that they were not caught. And it was not an option to try to hide and risk it. They think to themselves as they hunker down in the shadow of this alleyway. And as they begin to pull the cowl off of their face, we see gray skin underneath. 2 disc-like golden eyes peering down the alleyway. And just as they hear footsteps, there's a soft shift in the air. And suddenly, when the camera pans back to them, it's a completely different person. Someone with short brown hair, tan skin, green eyes. They pull the cowl up and they begin to run. And that is where we're going to end our session for tonight.
Oh, golly gosh.
God.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It was really nice to finally be able to play together as a full cast. Yay!
Yes.
We got some good progress here. We're in a new chapter with this new quest that we're on, so that's really exciting. There's a lot of really cool stuff that's gonna happen. It was really smart that y'all were like, we should get someone to protect the ship, because I didn't really even think of that, and it's like, that makes total sense. I was hoping that we would get more into the adventure today, but I think it was really good to iron out some of these loose threads that we had, and it was really good to like get everyone back into their shoes. So without further ado, we're gonna go around and just remind everyone how we're gonna do this. Tell me who you are, where we can find you, and what your favorite part of the episode was. And we are going to hop on over to Emma.
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. I'm also writing a TTRPG called All the Witches. You can find information about that at allthewitches_twitter.com. I also might be involved in some other things being announced soon. But I played Arlen, and my favorite part of tonight, I think just kind of the joking around about Garen and Ella being a thing, and especially like her moving in was really funny, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. We'll pop on over to GeekDice.
Hey folks, I'm GeekDice. I'm glad we got to play. It's been a while. I'm looking forward for more. I'm glad we got some new energy into the narration of the story and future opportunities. I think this campaign definitely has there's directions we can go. So I'm excited for that. I'm really appreciate that. I don't know that I necessarily have a favorite part. Saw a lot of good things. I think there's exciting elements with shape changers and assassins and all those scary things. So I'm excited for that. The new open-ended story, something new that might come. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big reveal. We name dropped the Scarlet Brotherhood, finally.
Mhm.
We've been hinting at it all fucking campaign. So I'm really excited to see where that's gonna go, because it's definitely about 10. So thank you for using your Vizier card on that. I was like, yes.
Oh,
Now
it's
it gets
that was great.
spicy. It made perfect sense. It was perfect timing. You had evidence. You didn't have enough information. And someone who has a big mouth just happened to be there. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. Hop on over to GodfatherWraith.
Helps if I unmute. Hey, I'm GodfatherWraith. Yeah, I don't have a social media presence, so you can always just find me here in Stella's Discord. So yeah, favorite part, the reveal that Garen's rival is actually a flipping changeling. I love that. Because it is. It's not it's definitely a friendly rivalry. He wants to get to know this person. But oh my god.
Yeah,
A changeling.
yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna be fun.
yeah.
What was really interesting was they didn't get to see your face because you were invisible.
Yeah. So they don't know what he looks like.
Nope.
And he doesn't know what they look like.
Nope.
It's just the cloak and the eyes.
Yep. Excellent. Thank you so much. We'll pop on over to John.
Hello, I'm John, aka Indicarus, and I was playing Pole of Ammonfort today. I had a lot of fun. It was really great to be back with everybody. Like we mentioned earlier, this is the first time we've all been together since April of last year. That is nuts. I'm so psyched. I especially haven't seen KayBee for a really long time because I think he came back for an episode that I missed, and so he sort of passed in the night. So it was great to see KayBee. And so my favorite part of today was a KayBee thing. I liked him nerding out with the gnome what was it, carpenter, about different kinds of wood and stuff like that. It's like that's very KayBee to me, so I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was perfect because in the character notes for the NPC, it specifically says obsessed with special kinds of wood. And I was like, damn,
Nice.
all right. Yeah, free win for you. Good job. Thank you very much. We'll pop on over to Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie. I'm Z. Or what's your name you'd like to call me? I'm the lore keeper and Captain Z of the Good Ship Clip. I'll probably do too many clips, so it's up to your own discretion. Today I played Finn Carson, Raging Researcher. Favorite? Well, I think there's the obvious hooray, we're all playing together again. Sort of favorite moment. I think it's across the board for that. Very lucky to be part of both this and another campaign as well. Two really cool groups. We all, after the holidays are hectic, right? So after the hectic of the holidays, getting to last week play this game, or the last week play Frost Maiden, and then play the game this week, it's just happy to kind of be back in that D&D rhythm again. But as far as this session goes, anything involving Tully I really like, so I just liked the whole chasing after, trying to find where Shern was. That whole thing was just really, really fun. And then, not because I ended up getting a nat 20 off the whole thing, but I liked the interplay of like, I know I'm gonna find a secret. I'm gonna get a secret out of you. I'm gonna, and it just doesn't happen. And it was just so fun.
I can't believe you beat my nat 20. That is wild. Yes, good job.
Emma's great.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out Twitter, ZombieFighter89. I have a pinned tweet there of all of my work. A little business card and a little Google Doc sheet of my work. If you're looking for anyone to be hired, it'd be great. And then one more real quick shout out to Dungeon Name. There's a link again. Buy all these cool shirts. There's wizards, there's rogues, and all kinds of fun stuff.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm still Luna. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back with more Secrets of Saltmarsh, not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye!